videotaping.
All we're watching is a bunch of trees we're watching.
Stop interrupting the film.
We are passing a former lumber yard on the side opposite the river. At the entrance will be 2 concrete blocks. These are all that remain of a huge iron forge known as the Andover Furnace. The canal is immediately behind these pillars and will then turn northeast away from us. This place is still called Kent, named for the chief chemist and later the manager of the old furnace, which closed in 1910. The furnace was one of the major reasons for building this railroad. The Belvedere and Delaware River Railway was first built as the Belvedere-Delaware Railroad. It was the second of the 5 railroads in Phillipsburg, reaching here in 1854. At that time, a branch line was also opened from Lambertville to Flemington. They became part of the Pennsylvania Railroad in 1876 and formed a link from the Pennsylvania Main Line at Trenton to New England via the Lehigh-Hudson River Railroad and the New Haven Railroads across the Poughkeepsie Bridge until 1974. Coal, iron, and cement were the big commodities shipped over the route. The Pennsylvania merged with the New York Central in 1967 to become the Penn Central, after which the Flemington branch was sold to the Black River and Western in 1970. It was then merged into Conrail in 1976. This part of the line was sold to the Black River and Western in 1995 and still exists to Milford, about 15 miles to the south. The next 15 miles between this line and the Flemington line are currently a hiking trail. The train is supplied by the New York Susquehanna and Western Technical and Historical Society and consists of several typical commuter cars built in the 1950s. Our steam locomotive is actually the newest piece of equipment we have. It was built in 1989 at the Tanshan Locomotive Works in China from a basic American design given to them during World War II. It is a hand-fired coal locomotive. The Susquehanna Technical and Historical Society was formed in the fall of 1988 by several longtime observers of that railroad who felt there was a need for an organization to preserve the history of the Susquehanna and its ancestral organizations. Since that time, the Society grew to nearly 500 members in half the states across this country. The Society is incorporated in New Jersey as a nonprofit educational organization recognized as tax-exempt by the IRS. Membership is open to all interested persons and includes our annual calendar and our color periodical magazine, the Susquehanna Reflector. One of the things the Society quickly became known for is the rebuilding of the stainless steel M1, an original Susquehanna self-propelled car built in 1950 by the Budd Company of Philadelphia. The Society now owns sister cars M2 and M4. These trains are manned entirely by volunteers. We have one paid regular employee, the steam locomotive mechanic. This is because the locomotive requires about 2 hours of maintenance for every hour it runs. All the other equipment also needs regular inspection and work to keep them in good shape and to make this ride possible. We do this to demonstrate life in a simpler time when the country was built by and around the railroads. If you would like to become part of this operation, please feel free to ask one of our train crew about becoming a member.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I know where I'm working for the rest of my life.
What?
I know where I'm working for the rest of my life.
All I know is you gotta keep this thing, everything's gotta be sit. Where's your phone? You wanna put your phone on charge?
My phone is already. My phone's good. I'm mainly focused on getting video.
As we pass underneath Interstate 78, we are now leaving the town of Phillipsburg. The rest of our trip will be in Cohasset Township. Across the river, you can plainly see the Delaware Canal. 3 major floods of the river in 2004, 2005, and 2006 largely ruined this historic waterway, but the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has rebuilt the canal, and the water returned to this state park in 2010. Notice the strip of new concrete that was part of the reconstruction. This is a water regulator to keep the level of the canal consistent with any excess water spilling into the river, and you can see the canal water behind it when it is filled.